Hello and welcome. So guys, yes, this is my return video. I am back after taking a break. I think it was a bit over a month. But today I just wanted to come on here and catch up with you guys, let you know what's been going on. I'm sure you noticed that I have a different background. And I also want to share with you my top recommendation as it comes to fragrances that have been launched in 2024, because this fragrance that I'm going to share with you is not going to be a surprise for some of you, but it is definitely a fragrance that I consider to be beyond exceptional. To me, this fragrance is a showstopper. But before we get into the fragrance, of course, I'm going to catch up with you, let you know what's been going on with me and some of the changes in my life. And yeah, we're just going to catch up. But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos 3 to 4 times a week, and sometimes you even get a bonus video. Now, if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, guys. So as I said in the opening, let's go ahead and catch up. And the first thing I want to talk about is the background, because I hope you cannot hear the sound of all of the cars passing by, but it's a totally different experience, okay? So my husband and I, as I'm sure most of you know if you've been with me for a while, we had a home in the New England area, specifically in Rhode Island. And it was a very beautiful home, and it was in a suburb. So it was a very quiet type of residence. And my husband and I decided that we wanted to move. And we decided also that we wanted to move back to Atlanta. So we are back in Atlanta, and at the same time, we decided to downsize because we are a blended family of 6, and our children are no longer kids. They are all young adults. They have all moved out, and they have pretty busy lives. And we just felt that there was no need to keep that large home and pay all that maintenance. You know, it can get quite expensive. So that will allow us to do other things that we've been wanting to do for a while and have had to hold back on, because when you're raising children and sending kids to college, it's a totally different ballgame, as I'm sure some of you can relate. But nonetheless, we are now in Atlanta. And as you can tell, we did not move necessarily to a very quiet suburb. We moved to more of city living. So I am very excited. We are very happy here. And it just so happens that we live across the street from a very beautiful park. And the studio, the space that I picked within our new home to have the studio, faces the park and, of course, the street in front of our home. So you are going to see cars passing by. There will be times where I will be filming a video with the shade of the window down. And sometimes, like today, I will have the window open because you guys know that I love my windows. But anyway, so that is the major change. And I want to, before we jump into the fragrance, I want to thank all of you for your patience in this time. I really felt a lot of pressure to come on sooner, but I just really couldn't, guys. There were so many things involved. You know, when you talk about it and say, well, we just moved out of state. We decided to move all the way from the north to the south. You know, it's easier said than done. But for those of you who have been involved in a move and a downsize of that magnitude, I'm sure that you can relate and understand what I'm speaking about. It was quite taxing. It was even a bit emotional. So I needed some time to just close that chapter and open this new one and enjoy it in the process. So I want to thank you all for your patience. Most specifically, I also want to thank those fam members that were consistent in reaching out to me. I wasn't very good at returning messages during this time because I was quite busy. And if I'm going to answer one person, I try to answer everybody's message because it's just, respectful, I guess. But I was not very good at answering messages, but some of the fam members were consistent in sending me messages via DMs on Instagram. So I just want to thank you for your prayers, for your best wishes, and for your care. I can't tell you how much that meant to me and how much I appreciate all of you. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the fragrance that, guys, I have to tell you, this is truly a showstopper, as I said at the beginning. This is a fragrance, and I'm just going to jump right into it. I am speaking about Amouage Guidance, but this one is Guidance 46. So let me just tell you, when I first heard that this fragrance was coming out, I was quite excited because if you've been with me for a while, you know that I really do enjoy Guidance, the original, right? But I have a dedicated review here on the channel. I'm going to link it right above here in case you're interested in hearing everything I had to say about Guidance, because it is quite a detailed review. Now, what I have to tell you is, if you do not like Guidance, I totally understand. Then you're not going to understand everything that I'm going to say about this fragrance. But if you are a Guidance lover, I need you to really give this video a bit of attention, because when I tell you this is extremely special. This is truly an exceptional fragrance. So let's start with my journey, because I call it my journey with Guidance. So I picked up the original Guidance when it was first launched, and I used it for a bit before filming that dedicated video that I have here on the channel, where I gave you a very detailed review and I spoke about my experience and the feel of the fragrance, as always, as it relates to Guidance, the original. Now, you may also recall that in that video, I talked about how, I was still trying to wrap my arms around it, really trying to understand the fragrance a bit better, really trying to decide if it was a super love or a crazy love, or just a very, very strong like or a love. It's like it's not that I was necessarily on the fence. I knew that I liked it, but I just didn't know if I was obsessed with it. I can tell you that after a while, I just fell absolutely in love with Guidance. But, oh my goodness, let's stop right there, because this is a showstopper. So, my husband and I, on our move from Rhode Island to Atlanta, we decided to drive, right? So we sent most of our stuff with the movers, and then we decided to take a bit of time and go on the road and just take a pause and digest everything, that was going on. In that process, of course, going from the north to the south, I stopped at several points to go shopping. And one of the places that I really wanted to go to was the amouage shop in New Jersey, which, if I recall correctly, is in a mall that's called Mall of the Americas, I think. If I'm giving you the wrong name, I will be writing right here the correct name. But I think it's Mall of the Americas. Is a very, very large, beautiful mall in New Jersey. And that is where the amouage shop is located. And it is my understanding that that is the only amouage shop currently in the United States. So I stopped there because I wanted to sniff this fragrance. Guys, I had no plan whatsoever on picking up this fragrance, because this is a very pricey fragrance. And I heard a couple of other fellow YouTubers talk about this fragrance, And I remember seeing Sharita. If you haven't seen her channel, you have to go check her out, and I will link her channel in the description box. But the first person that I heard talk about this fragrance was Sharita. And she enjoys, of course, guidance. But when I heard the price, I was like, no, ma'am, I am not picking up that fragrance. So I had given up on that thought. I told myself, maybe if it makes it to a retailer in the future, I will pick it up. But honestly, guys, when I sniffed this fragrance and then when I sprayed it on my skin and walked around the mall for a bit, I just knew. I knew I had to have this fragrance. There is a difference. I don't know what they did. I don't know how they did it, but there is a definite difference between the original Guidance and Guidance 46. And as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to talk about it in detail now, but as far as I'm concerned, this is worth every penny. And I do not regret picking up this fragrance at all. But let me tell you a little bit about the experience of using Guidance 46 versus Guidance. So when I spray on Guidance, the original, it is a fragrance that is very, very strong. The opening is very sharp and strong. And it is a fragrance that projects very strong, as I said, very well. It has a very strong sillage also. It performs exceptionally, but it is a very strong fragrance. It is not for everybody. Truly, it is not. But when it comes to Guidance 46, they have smoothed over all of those sharp kind of bumps on the road in the opening of the fragrance and allowed the fragrance to have a smoothness that I am telling you, it is just amazing how incredible this fragrance smells. The opening is smooth. It is the original Guidance, but smoother while still performing like a beast. Because when I tell you that Guidance 46 is a beast, it is a beast. Now let's talk about other things such as projection and guidance. So when you spray Guidance 46, you are going to immediately get a very, very strong projection. And that projection, guys, is nothing compared to the sillage of this fragrance. This fragrance has a sillage that in my entire over 700 niche fragrance collection is unprecedented. I've never had a fragrance perform like this at all whatsoever. This is a fragrance, guys, that is the ultimate compliment getter. It doesn't matter where I've been in the US in the time that I've been away from you guys and since I picked it up. It doesn't matter what occasion, day or night. It doesn't matter. Wherever I go, I don't get one compliment. I get multiple compliments. And at times people gather around me just to talk about what fragrance am I using? Where can they get it? What is it called? If I tell them the name, they immediately write it down. They go online on their phone and they're trying to pick it up immediately. When I tell you, and then when they go online or when they find it and they see the price, I'm expecting them to be like, oh, well, this is quite pricey, forget it. Oh no, they proceed to pick up this fragrance, which retails above $500, right? So when I tell you that this is a fragrance that is just unprecedented as far as compliments and the way it makes you feel. So if you've watched my original Guidance review video, you know how I talked about the feel of that fragrance. Well, take that feel and move it over to Guidance 46 and you are going to have a fragrance that is still exceptional. Absolutely exceptional, guys. The feel to me is the same. It is a very unapologetic, no excuses fragrance. It is a fragrance that is worthy of becoming your signature scent, and it is definitely the fragrance of a boss, for real. This is truly a unisex fragrance, but for me, it does lean a bit towards the feminine side, but it is truly a unisex fragrance. Now, when it comes to this fragrance, the other thing that I did want to share with you that I don't know if you are familiar with, because I haven't seen anybody talk about this, but when I was at the boutique, I was also able to pick up the Amouage Guidance Body Lotion. Oh my goodness, guys. Now, you know how I am about body products and layering with the fragrance, but this one, just like Guidance the Original and Guidance 46, this is a showstopper body lotion. You know, not only does it truly moisturize and nourish your skin, but it is the perfect primer for when you're going to apply, whether it's Guidance the Original or Guidance 46. It is an exquisite lotion, and I will link it if I can find it. I don't know, because when I picked it up at the boutique, I know that they were the only ones carrying it. You could not find it online, but maybe now, since it's been, over a month, maybe now it is available at other retailers. But when I tell you that much like these fragrances, this lotion, this is a showstopper. This is a no-nonsense, true body lotion designed to nourish and prime in preparation for spraying or applying this incredible fragrance. All in all, guys, in my opinion, whether you decide to go with Amouage, Guidance the Original, or Guidance 46, you just can't go wrong. But for me, Guidance 46 is definitely the fragrance that has topped the charts in 2024. To me, this is the best launch so far of 2024, and I wanted to give it a special spotlight. So that's why I decided, for my return video, I am going to share with the fam that I am absolutely obsessed with this fragrance. This is not just a compliment getter, but it is a fragrance that makes me feel incredible whenever I am wearing it. And it is just a delight. So I know it is quite pricey. You may want to wait until this fragrance makes it to some discount, sites or anything like that. But in all reality, if you want to get your hands on it now or in preparation for the holidays, just save your coin little by little, because when I tell you, you will fall absolutely in love with this fragrance. Now, is this one different than the original as far as being a polarizing fragrance not liked by all? No, this is still Guidance, guys. Do not be mistaken. They're almost the same fragrance. It's just that this one is definitely a smoother, more, in my opinion, more refined version of it. So the opening is more manageable and the wear is also more manageable. But at the end of the day, if you were not a fan of the original Guidance, if you did not like that scent profile, or you were just not feeling this fragrance, then you're not going to like Guidance 46. So don't even bother. But all in all, what I do also recommend, because this is quite a pricey fragrance, what I do recommend is that you try to get yourself a sample or a decant and use it for a couple of days and see how you feel about it. But all in all, if you are a Guidance lover, I assure you, you are going to absolutely love this fragrance. I just can't imagine anybody who loves the original Guidance not falling head over heels for this one. Again, I am absolutely obsessed with this fragrance, and that's why I decided to bring it to you today. And this is my top recommendation so far for 2024 launches. All right, guys, so we've reached the end of today's video because I just wanted to come on here and, of course, say that I'm back. I wanted to say hello to all the fam. I have missed you guys so very much, and I wanted to share this incredible fragrance. But I have to tell you, in the time that I've been away, there are so many other fragrances that I have tried that are truly exquisite. There are some fails though, and I will be sharing those with you too. But yes, I will be sharing that with you. And also, after this video, I'm planning to film a Middle Eastern videos in preparation for the Middle Eastern Thursday video. And there are some fragrances that are part of the 2024 launch that are just exceptional, just absolutely exceptional, and that I've been looking forward to coming on and sharing with you. So if you are a Middle Eastern fragrances lover, then get ready, because I have quite a number of fragrances that I will be sharing with you this Thursday. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again for your patience and for waiting for me to return. Thanks so much for your support. Thank you so much for the love, fam. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video.